Civil Service Mains Examination of 2016, they have asked this question that write down the characters of pteridophytes resembling the bryophytes and the gymnosperm. That means you have to write the pteridophyte characters which are matching with the bryophytes characters as well as to the gymnosperm. And this question has been split up into the 7.5 mark and 7.5 mark, total 15 marks. That means if you write it, the pteridophytic character resembling with the bryophytes, you will get the 7.5 mark. And if you write properly the pteridophytic and the gymnophytic characters which are matching, then you also get the rest of the 7.5 marks. That is total 15 marks. All right. That is why this topic has been considered for this video. In our syllabus, they have mentioned that in paper 1 and chapter number 2 of paper 1, that is the cryptograms, we have bryophytes. Actually, we have all the cryptograms, that is the algae, fungi, lichen, bryophyte, and the pteridophytes, their structure, reproduction from the evolutionary point of view, and their distribution of cryptograms in India, and their ecological and the economic importance. But sometimes they also ask such a question that how bryophytes resembles with the pteridophyte, or how pteridophytes are differ from the bryophytes. All right. So we have to cover this topic from every point of view, and that is why this video has been created. All right. So let's get started. So the very first similarity between the pteridophytes and the bryophytes is that they both show the heteromorphic alternation of generation. Now, what is meant by heteromorphic alternation of generation? Now, heteromorphic means if sporophyte and gametophyte, if these two are morphologically dissimilar, then such a type of alternation of generation is called the heteromorphic alternation of generation. Whenever there is a morphologically different sporophyte and the gametophyte, then we said that the alternation of generation is a heteromorphic alternation of generation. Now, in both, that is in pteridophytes and bryophytes, both shows the heteromorphic alternation of generation. So it's a very important characteristic which is matching between the pteridophyte and the bryophyte, that they both show the heteromorphic alternation of generation. And when heteromorphic, you should know the if the sporophytes and the gametophyte, if they are morphologically dissimilar, then and only then we say that generation is the heteromorphic alternation of generation. And both bryophyte and the pteridophyte both shows the heteromorphic alternation of generation. So this is the very first similarity between the two. All right. Second similarity we have here is in both bryophytes and the pteridophytes contain similar sexual organs. That is in pteridophyte, a male sex organ we have is a antheridia, and female sex organ as a archegonia. In a very similar way, the bryophytes also has antheridia and archegonia. Now, this structure, that is the antheridia, is related with the male, while the archegonia structure is typically related with the female, or say egg, or male, say sperms. In pteridophytes and bryophytes, both shows the presence of antheridia and the archegonia as a male and female sexual organ. That is, the male and female sexual organs in both bryophytes and pteridophytes are similar. So this is the second very important point, that both share the similar sexual organs. Third, we have here, both have jacketed and the multicellular sex organs. The sex organs in the bryophytes and sex organs in pteridophytes both have multicellular sex organs. Now, what is meant by multicellular? Now, you know the difference between the unicellular and multicellular. If something is unicellular, it is made up of one cell, and something is multicellular, then it is made up of more than one cell. All right. So, in both bryophyte and pteridophyte, the sex organs are multicellular, plus they are jacketed. Now, jacketed means they have external covering of jacket to the sexual organ, and this jacket is found in both bryophytes as well as the pteridophytes. All right. So the sex organs in bryophyte and pteridophytes are multicellular and the jacketed. You should remember that in both, that is bryophytes and the pteridophytes, the sex organs are firstly multicellular, and second they have jacket around them. That is why jacketed. All right, so this is the third similarity between the bryophytes and pteridophytes. Now, the fourth similarity between the bryophytes and pteridophytes is that they both have the motile male gametes. In both, that is, in bryophytes and pteridophytes, the male gametes in both are motile in nature. Now, what is meant by motile? Motile literally means those who have ability of locomotion. Those things which have ability of locomotion, we said to have them as a motile. Now, here in the point, in both bryophytes and the pteridophytes, the male gametes, the male gametes are motile in nature. That means they have ability of locomotion. Plants, that is the bryophyte and pteridophyte shows the motile male gametes. So this is the very important fourth similarity between the bryophytes and pteridophytes. Now, the fifth similarity between both bryophytes and pteridophytes has non-motile female gametes. Both have non-motile female gametes. As you know, we have discussed about the motile. Motile means which has the ability to locomote, and non-motile means which do not have the ability of locomotion. That is the female gametes in bryophytes as well as in the pteridophytes. In both, the female gametes are the non-motile. That is why this is the very important fifth similarity between the two groups, that is the bryophytes and pteridophytes. The sixth similarity between the two groups is in both the groups there is absence of asexual spores formed by the ordinary division of mitosis. These are asexual spores which are formed by the ordinary division of the mitosis are not shown either by the bryophytes nor by the pteridophytes. All right. Both these groups do not show the asexual spore which are formed by the ordinary division of the mitosis. So this is the very important sixth point, which has a similarity in which shows the similarity in bryophytes and pteridophytes, that both do not show the asexual spores. All right. Now the seventh similarity between the bryophytes and pteridophytes is that members of the both shows the oogamous type of sexual reproduction. Now what is meant by oogamous type of sexual reproduction? In which it is a sexual reproduction in which the female gamete is larger than the male gamete. All right. That means male gametes are small and the female gametes are larger. This is the first condition to be the oogamous. Secondly, the female gamete is a non-motile and the male gametes are motile. All right. So if the female gamete is a larger in size and the male gamete is a smaller in size, while female gamete is a non-motile in nature and male gametes are motile in nature, in if for such a condition there is a reproduction, we say that such a reproduction is a oogamous type of reproduction. Now, from our point of view, both that is bryophytes and pteridophytes shows the oogamous type of reproduction. That means they have larger female gametes and the non-motile female gametes, while the male gametes are smaller and the motile. All right. So members of both, that is the bryophytes and pteridophytes, shows the oogamous type of sexual reproduction. And oogamous literally means if the male gamete, if the female gamete is larger than male gamete, and if female gamete is non-motile and male gamete is motile, then we say the reproduction is a oogamous type of sexual reproduction. The next similarity between the bryophytes and pteridophytes is that all bryophytes shows the presence of rhizoids, while some pteridophytes also shows the presence of rhizoids. Now, here you have to remember very important point that all the bryophytes, while some pteridophytes. That means all the bryophytic members has rhizoids instead of true roots. Rhizoids are the roots-like structure which are present instead of true roots. That means they are not really the true roots, but they are looks like a roots. That is why the new term has been there. It's called the rhizoids. While some pteridophytes also shows the presence of rhizoids. Here, some means not all the pteridophytes shows the presence of rhizoids. Only some pteridophytes has the rhizoid structure, while the rest of the pteridophyte shows the true roots. All right. So you should remember carefully while putting the bryophytes, you should mention the word all. That is, all bryophytes has the rhizoids. Only a some bryophytes, sorry, pteridophytes has a rhizoids. All right. So this is the similarity between the bryophytes and pteridophytes, that they both contain the rhizoids, but in the group of bryophytes, all the bryophytes has rhizoids, while only some pteridophytes have the rhizoids. All right. The next similarity is fertilization in both is dependent on the water. That is, in bryophytes and pteridophytes, fertilization, that is, the union of male and female gamete, is totally dependent on the water. Whether bryophytes or pteridophytes, both the plants require the water for the fertilization. Without water, there will be no fertilization. All right. So this is the very strong similarity between the two. That both the plant groups, that is the bryophyte and pteridophyte, required water for the fertilization. All right. The next we have the 10th similarity between the bryophyte and pteridophyte, that all bryophytes, while some pteridophytes, shows the presence of homospore. Now, homospores literally means the spores which has a similar size and type. All right. Those are spores which are similar in size and type are considered to be as the homospores. All right. So all the bryophytes has the homospores. All right, but not all the pteridophytes, but some pteridophytes has the homospore. In bryophytes, all the members shows the homospores, while in some pteridophytes, some members shows the homospores. All right. So in summary, we have seen the 10 similarities between the pteridophytes and the bryophytes. These are the pteridophytes and bryophytes shows the heteromorphic alternation of generation. Then Antheridia and Archegonia are present in both. Then both have jacketed and multicellular sex organs. Then both have motile male gametes. Then both have non-motile female gametes. In both the groups, there is absence of asexual spores formed by the ordinary division of mitosis. Members of both bryophytes and pteridophytes shows the oogamous types of sexual reproduction. In all bryophytes and some pteridophytes, rhizoids are present instead of roots, and fertilization in both is dependent on water. And the last one is the bryophytes and some pteridophytes have homospores. All right. So you should remember these points, are very important points. And if you write these 10 points in a row, you will get the complete marks. All right. So this is the very important 10 similarities between the pteridophytes and the bryophytes. All right. So I hope you like this lecture. Please like the video. And if you have any doubt, please comment. Please share this video with your friends. And please subscribe to the Botany Optional channel for the UPSC examination. See you soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.